Here's an analogy for an argument between a theist and an atheist.
Imagine that I were to go for a walk in the woods near my house with my friend Tom. Now, I'm convinced that in these woods lives the Canadian national animal, the beaver. Tom is a skeptic. Well, after a few minutes walking, we come across some animal dung, some animal scat lying on the path in front of us. I point to it and I say, "Look, Tom, that's beaver scat, beaver dung, proof that beavers live in these woods." "No," he says, shaking his head skeptically. "Those were droppings left by the lesser spotted maple mouse." I shrug my shoulders, we walk on. A few minutes later, we see some trees standing by the side of the trail, bearing the clear signs of gnawing, of tooth marks a couple of feet off the ground. "Look," I say, "beavers bit those trees. Beavers have been at work in these woods." Again, he shakes his head skeptically. No," says Tom. "Those trees were chewed by deer, very short deer with very sharp teeth." We walk on for a few more minutes and we come to a clearing in the woods with a big lake in the middle of the clearing. The lake has been formed by sticks laid across a stream, and in the middle of the lake is what appears to be a beaver lodge made of sticks. I point to the lodge and the dam and I say, "Look, Tom, what more evidence do you need? A beaver lodge, a beaver dam. Beavers live in these woods." No," he says. "There were heavy rains last week, don't you remember? And floods have swept through these woods and just arranged those sticks in a way that looks like beaver activity, but there are no beavers here."
Now, this dude is an apologist, and this is supposed to be his perspective of what it's like trying to show evidence to an atheist. But the ironic thing about these scenarios is that they sound like a scientist trying to show evidence of evolution to a creationist. Those aren't dinosaur fossils, they're dragon fossils. That canyon wasn't formed over millions of years. Noah's flood did it. Those aren't vestigial organs, we just live in a fallen world. Also, never take this guy with you if you are looking for beaver activity.
I wasn't able to show Tom on that occasion a real live beaver, but we did see a number of pieces of evidence that are best explained by the hypothesis that beavers lived in the woods, whereas Tom had to engage in these kind of ad hoc explanations every time a new piece of data came up.
So you do know what it's like arguing with a creationist.
I think something similar is going on when it comes to God. Yes, there may not be one single knockdown piece of evidence for God, but I believe the God hypothesis best explains a wide array of pieces of evidence that, taken together, point to the fact that God exists. We've explored some of them in this video series.
Then you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. How could a timeless, spaceless, immaterial, disembodied ghost who never lies be the best explanation for fucking anything?
With single pieces of evidence that on their own might not convince you, but taken together, the evidence leads to God. But one final thought. I wonder if it's ever occurred to you that Christianity is not primarily an argument, or an intellectual position, or a philosophy. God primarily is not concerned with defeating you in some kind of game of intellectual chess. God primarily is looking for our trust and our commitment. Here is the evidence, says the Bible, and on the basis of that evidence, will you put your trust in him?
That's not what the Bible says. Jesus says, "Blessed are those who have not seen but have believed." You're only blessed if you believe without evidence, which kind of implies that Jesus thinks you're an asshole if you do ask for evidence.